Hey, hey, hey. How are you doing? I know I have been gone, just been busy with work and everything else, just not had a chance to jump into anything. But I am here now, and I want to talk to you about a specific news story. That's right, you just lost 20 social credit points. Shame, shame, shame. So I want to talk about Euthanasia and not the Megadeth album. No, and I'm a little torn on this topic, right? And I'm still getting a little bit familiar with this, the changes and whatnot. Do do do. Now, here we go. Boom. A spike in assisted, bad word, as more Western countries are open to euthanizing non terminally ill applicants. Now, that's the troubling part, right? Now, all right, I am a pretty big advocate of let adults do adult things, right? If I would like to drive in my vehicle without a seatbelt, I am old enough and maybe not smart enough or dumb enough, that might not be the best way to put it. I am free enough to make a choice that affects me. Now, is it right? Is it wrong? Doesn't matter. I have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of dumbass things if I see fit. Now, that being said, I will not ride my motorcycle without a helmet. I do not think that a free person should have a government tell them you have to wear a helmet. I strongly advise all of you out there who ride motorcycles or bikes, uh, spiders, what have you. I strongly encourage you to wear not only a helmet, but gloves. Very, very important. Also, boots, right? Don't like sneakers, I guess. You know, I would suggest boots, but I strongly encourage gloves, and I even stronglier, yes, insist that you take my advice on wearing a helmet. But no one can make you do it. So, this euthanasia thing, the government has no right to tell a person that they cannot end their life. Now, the governing body to punish medical professionals who choose to do so. I think a medical professional that chooses to do so would have, I believe it would be reasonable to strip them of their license to practice medicine in certain settings. That's reasonable. I'm not saying that's what I would do, but it's reasonable. Now, no. All right. So let's talk about this article. The groundbreaking legalization of medically assisted death in the Netherlands in 2002. There's been a shocking, I don't think it's shocking, rise in people without physical illness opting for euthanasia. Now, the wording of that, are we talking about, I'm going to be a paraplegic and I don't want to live that way? Or are we talking about, well, I have something that is killing me slowly, right? I would like a little clarification on that. However, the initial aim was to assist individuals suffering from terminal illnesses to die with dignity, which I support. Now, Casper Raus, a researcher at Universiteit Ghent in Belgium, they said the types of patients seeking out physician-assisted suicide have changed greatly over the past 2 decades. The debate used to focus on patients with cancer or those suffering from an incurable illness, not autism. That's the issue. Now, I'm an adult and I want to die. I should have that free choice. That being said, I believe a doctor should be required to try to improve. I think a doctor should have to care for patients, right? You're autistic and you have no social life and you're lonely and this and that. Well, I would think that that's a treatable situation, not an easy one. And no, you're never going to cure someone of their quirks, of their mental, of autism, right? You're not going to cure someone of it. But you can assist someone in enriching their life to possibly making it better, where they may not want to die. Like, I do think permanent fucking solutions that can't be undone should be held off until other things have been tried, right? Depression, got it. Very much have depression. I don't think suicide should be the quickest option. I think treatment and therapy and other things should be approached. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do. Okay, I get it. You don't want to. But if you're going to get physician-assisted suicide, had to wait till it reached a certain time limit. If you're going to get physician-assisted suicide, then you'd have to go through other treatments first. I think that's only fair. I think that's reasonable. Now, and again, this comes from the Publica, right? It's new. It's mostly non-politically biased, I should say. But it does have a slightly conservative lean to it, simply because that is who tends to reach out more towards the non-biased, because people that are centrist, slightly leaning right, are the ones who are the most politically homeless. So, 900 out of the 60,000 people who opted for euthanasia, 39 of them had autism. And I know that's not a lot out of 60,000 people. 39 were autistic. 18 of them were under the age of 50. The main reason behind getting the procedure was mental, physical, or age-related ailments. Their sole cause of their suffering was related to an intellectual disability, which caused social isolation, an inability to cope, a difficulty adjusting to change, or an oversensitivity to stimuli. Now, this article, many articles like this topic has really come up because of a controversial case in Canada. There's a 33-year-old paraplegic woman, a single mother of 3, who announced that she applied for assisted suicide because it was easier to access than support services. Okay. Now, there's a CBC article that I will throw in there in the description if I can. Maybe. If it shows, then cool. If not, nope, it won't show. Her reason for it was treatment was difficult to get. Okay. Well, that makes the best solution make the treatment easier to get. Right? Makes sense to me. It wasn't her option because there was nothing else that would work. It was the easiest option. Well, I think a permanent solution shouldn't be done because it's easiest. It should be done because it's the only option. And it was, her interview and all that was very difficult, right? Rose Finley of Ontario said that it would take 6 to 8 months to get her assistance, whereas her would only take 3 months. She has spent a year bedridden, suffering, right? And I know people. Back in high school, I had a good buddy who was quadriplegic. He's no longer with us. But he had a fun story about meeting Muhammad Ali. Anyways, it's not what I want. But if I don't receive the support that I need, the outcome is the same. If I get to a point where I'm really sick and basically terminally ill anyways, I would like to have other options. Gotcha. Now, Australia has pushed legislation that would allow minors as young as 14 to die of medically assisted suicide, right? Children should have the same choices as adults in how they end their life. Young people under the age of 18 can also experience intolerable end-of-life suffering through terminal illnesses. Tara Chain. Ooh. That's a rough one. We don't, now in the United States, we think you have to be 21 until you are mature enough to smoke a cigarette or have a drink of whiskey. Okay? What is the age in Australia to be old enough to decide you can have a drink of whiskey? It seems strange that you would have the right to end your life, but not have the right to a little nicotine. So yes, this article does criticize the legalization of euthanasia because critics have weighed in on the lack of safeguards that make accessing it too easy. Now, let me wrap this up with I am a strong advocate of giving people the freedom to choose as long as it's them. You know, if it's my life, if it affects me, in most cases, I should have that choice. But looking at it from the medical aspect, I believe a doctor is morally should be legally required to do what is in the best interest of the patient. Morbidity and mortality councils exist for a reason, right? You should have to be able to justify why you came to that decision. And they really wanted it. It's not a good reason. Now, if you assisted your buddy in committing hara-kiri, if you can prove that's what he wanted, and you were just there to assist your friend, you know, go to court, speak before a judge, and, you know, plead your case. But medical professionals have to be held to a standard. They have to be held to a standard. And doctor-assisted suicide for non-terminally ill patients should be scrutinized. You should, in every case, have to stand before a committee, a council, whatever it is, and plead your case. Because while I'm not gonna demand we stop people from doing things we disagree with, that's their life, I will stand for holding doctors, medical professionals accountable for the actions they do as medical professionals. So, yeah. I feel the same way about needless surgeries. I feel the same way about giving medication that might not be the best one, but this pharmacy rep is giving you a fucking trip to Hawaii. Anyways, it's a wonderfully difficult topic. I would love to hear your opinions on it. And as always, I respect your opinion. Whether you agree with me or whether you're wrong, you have an opinion and a right to that opinion. and I won't argue that you have the right to be wrong. Anyways, kind of a deep topic, but let me know what you think.